Okay, so I already have my lotion on my face. So whatever lotion that you love, use it for your face. And if you aren't using a lotion right now, I would suggest starting to, because you really want to let your face, become hydrated, because it's just not good for your skin to not use a moisturizer. So the first thing I'm going to do is just use my L'Oreal Studio Secrets Perfecting Primer. And I'm only going to be using a little bit of this. And definitely concentrate this on the areas that you feel your foundation doesn't last as long, or you get more oily, because for a little bottle of this, it is a little expensive for the drugstore, but it works really well. So after that, I'm just going to be using my Revlon Color Stay, and my color is 180 Sand Beige, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of it on the back of my hand. You want to be careful with this stuff, because I definitely just took way too much, but I mean, oh wow. So I'm just going to stipple this on my face. Right now I'm just going to be stealing my Winnie the Pooh mirror. I'm sorry if this is light, but yeah, this is what I use for my makeup. Stipple it all over your face, and then you can rub very lightly in circles. Hair's getting everywhere. Now, I really like this makeup because I feel like the amount of colors they have to choose from is really good. Plus, it does really stay on for a really long time. And it also really is not too expensive for a long-lasting foundation. I lost a bristle. So, I really recommend this. But obviously, whatever foundation from the drugstore that you love will work for this step. Alright. Next, I'm just going to be using my concealer, which is the Maybelline Mineral Power Concealer. Now, I kind of just went through my collection and found this the other day because I was using the e.l.f. one, but I forgot how much I really love this, and you really don't need much of it. So you just put it on. I put 2 dabs underneath my eyes, 1 on each blemish, which for some reason is in a line, you can connect the dots. And then wherever you feel you need a little more coverage. Okay. And then I'm just going to be patting this in with my finger. I like to use my ring finger, not my ring, my pointer finger. This concealer is great for both under eyes and spot treatment on your face, which sometimes, concealers differ. Sometimes they're great for your under eyes, not so good for your face, and vice versa. So it's great to find one that is dual, does both, because then you're not spending so much money on multiple concealers. Okay, the next step for my face is my e.l.f. Complexion Perfection. This is just going to set everything I just did, and it's going to even out my complexion. I'm going to be using an EcoTools powder brush for this. And I just tap it on first before I go in and kind of swirl it. So I take one more and then just swirl it all over. Now the next step for your face is pretty simple. I'm going to be using the Revlon Color Stay. Okay, this isn't working. I'm knocking things over. Okay, the Revlon Color Stay bronzer, and this is in the color 020 something matte. I'm sorry, it's really old. But this is a great bronzer. I love this bronzer. And I'm just going to be using my retractable kabuki brush from EcoTools. Just swirl it in there, tap it off. And I'm going to be putting this on right underneath my cheekbone. So you have a little bit of contouring going on. Down my nose. Down my nose, on my chin, and then I'm going to do the 3E. So that's all you have to do for your bronzer. I'm usually kind of, I put so much bronzer on, probably way too much, but today I'm going to keep this simple so that you can get to school faster. Now taking your EcoTools powder brush again, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blush, and this is in Candid Coral. And if you don't know where the apples of your cheeks are, you can make a fish face, and that is where, right where your, that's the apple of your cheek, right here, the highest point. So I'm just going to be swirling my brush into this blush. And then I like to pat it on too. And you're all set for the face. Let's move on to eyes. Alright, now for your eyes, I'm going to be using a concealer to do my priming. And this concealer is just a cover stick concealer, and it's in light beige. It is broken, as if you cannot tell. Ooh, I'm dropping everything. It's broken, so I kind of use this for multiple purposes. But I have not found a primer for my eyes in the drugstore. So what I'm going to be doing is just priming both of my eyes with this. This actually has the same consistency and the same kind of color and feel of my Clinique Touch Base, which is in Canvas. So that's kind of cool. And then I always put underneath, because I like to use eyeshadow as eyeliner. Alright, the eyeshadow I'll be using today is another Revlon Color Stay product, and it is in blush wines. And I'm actually missing the top color, so I'm only going to be using the first three. So the first brush I'm going to take is a flat brush from EcoTools. If I can get it out. It's just a very tiny little flat brush. And we're going to take the first really light color and just put that over both of the eyelids, all over. I like to pat it on, but you can also sweep it on. But patting it on will keep it on longer and make the color stay. The colors pop more. Alright, when you're done with that color, you're going to be taking the next color, which is like a nice bronzy, sparkly brown color, and using the same brush, you're going to put it on the outside of your eye, from the middle to the outside of your eye. And you're going to want to pat this color on so that it can show up over the light pink. then you can get it a little bit into your crease on the outer edge. We're going to switch our brush and we're going to use an angled crease brush from Eco Tools, and we're going to go for that deep maroon color at the bottom, and that's nice and sparkly. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I love sparkles. So we're just going to be using this right in the crease, and you want to make sure that you have a good handle on this because you don't want any color fall out. We'll do the same to the other eye. And next you're just going to be taking a smudge brush, which is a tiny little tapered brush. And you're going to go back with that same color and then kind of swirl in the crease and on a little bit under the brow bone so that you get a little bit of an outer V effect, but it's nothing too dramatic. And this will darken up your crease also. And then we're just going to take that same color on the same brush and just kind of pat it underneath, using it as an eyeliner. We actually won't be using any eyeliner for this look, which I usually don't do, but I think that this look is better without it. So next we're just going to curl our lashes, and this is just a lash curler from NYC. And hold it for about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Voluminous Collagen mascara, which I showed in my favorites, but I'll show it again. It's got a nice brush. It creates nice big bold lashes. Oh, I got it on the side of my nose. And again for the other eye. And then whatever is left on the brush, you can open your eyes really wide or look up, but if you're going to look up, I would wait for it to dry because I used to do it all the time and then have 3 dots right underneath. That's never good. And just sweep this underneath. I just got a huge clump of it. And if you get a clump, the best thing you can do is just take off any excess and then use the cleaner side of the brush and just lightly move over those lashes, because if you just keep going over with the brush, you're just going to keep getting more clumps. And again with this eye. And then for my lip gloss, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Color Juice, and this is in Bubblegum 115. So what this is just a really, really sheer, glossy color, and it's gorgeous. And you just kind of squeeze a little bit out and rub it all over your lips. You don't really want to have to worry about lipstick at school because then you're constantly going to the bathroom and applying it. This you can really easily whip out in the middle of class, put it on, and be done. And that is the final look for this, and I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope this really helps. Definitely make sure you have enough time to do your makeup before, and there's also obviously steps you can skip in here if you don't use them to save some time before school. So keep watching my channel for more back to school specials, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.